watch my back, so I make sure you're right behind me as before. Yes.
All right, Avondale School District, you probably wonder why I'm sitting here drenched, wet, full of a bed of ice. Well, this week, Avondale Middle School staff and students started the Avondale 3-Bucket ALS Challenge. And in phase 2, we're taking it across the district. So we're going to challenge each of our schools and their staff and students to get involved with the goal of raising $5,000 in the next 30 days for ALS research. Let's get together, Avondale, like we have before, and make it happen. So Avondale, here's the next step. Before we give you your challenge, we want you to take a minute and listen to one of Avondale's own staff member, Mrs. Susan Mason Hollis, and her personal connection to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
Mrs. Mason Hollis here. Welcome back. Hope everybody had a great summer. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about something that is important to Avondale and is important to me. You probably have seen on Facebook, on the news, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge that's been going on this summer. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, maybe educate you a little bit about what ALS is, and then I'm going to get you guys involved in this challenge. So ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's also called Lou Gehrig's disease. And what it is it's called a degenerative neuromuscular disease. And what that means is the nerves that run from your brain to your muscles and tell them what to do, they start to break down and not work anymore. So somebody with ALS will lose the ability to use their muscles and eventually lose the ability to breathe and speak and swallow. There is currently no cure for ALS. People don't get better from ALS. If you are currently diagnosed with ALS, most people don't live longer than about 5 years with that diagnosis. Most people, and it's great they're getting involved in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, but I wanted you guys to know what it was for. It's raising money for ALS research so we can find a cure for this terrible, terrible
Avondale High School, here's your challenge. I'm calling out my good buddies, Mr. Pichelle, Mr. Henderson, and Mr. Morton to do the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Scott Mason was a teacher that worked here for 20 years. He worked with a lot of us that work here now. He was more than a colleague, he was a friend. Just a really great guy. First thing you noticed about Scott Mason was his voice. He had a voice for radio, great voice. And about 5 years ago, his voice started to crack, and of course, we started picking on him about his voice cracking. Well, I will never forget, 5 years ago in the springtime, he asked Mr. Henderson, Mr. Donahue, and myself to come down to his room, and he told us that that voice cracking was ALS hitting his body. And I'll never forget the hopeless feeling that I had that here's a good friend of mine who has ALS, and I just felt hopeless. There was really not a lot that we could do to help him. For the next 2 years, I tried to spend 1 day a week with him, his wife, who teaches at the middle school, and his kids. And as it got to the point where he couldn't drive, he couldn't keep his head up, that helpless feeling just got worse and worse. So this is why I'm happy that we have the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, because this is a chance for us to do something, not feel so hopeless. So please take it very seriously. Please have fun with it, and please remember you're doing a good thing. Thank you.
All right, Avondale, you've been challenged. And one of the things I love about this place is when we have a challenge in front of us, we meet it head on. We've got 1 week, and our goal is to try to raise $5,000. We want to make sure that all of us, Mr. Pichelle, Mr. Henderson, and myself, are dumped on Friday. For that to happen, you're going to need to reach into those pockets and find that change so that we can reach our goal. I know you can do it. I know you have it in you, and I need your help. Let's make it happen.
Hey Avondale, it's personal for the three of us, and we hope you'll join us with this ALS challenge. Here's the way it's going to work. Starting homecoming week on Monday, we're going to start collecting donations. The way it's going to work is that which one of the three of us raises the most money in donations, you can donate either to myself, Mr. Pichelle, or Mr. Morton, with the goal of dumping a 5-gallon ice bucket on one of our heads. Whoever raises the most money is going to get that bucket dumped on them at the homecoming assembly on Friday. Now, if we raise a total of $2,000 or more, the top 2 money earners are going to get the buckets dumped on them. If we go over 3,000, all three of us are going to get the ice cold water on us at the homecoming assembly. But if you go one step further and you go to $5,000 raised in this building, we will pull Mrs. Lublin out of the stands, and we're going to have the opportunity to dump an ice bucket on her as well as the three of us. The way you get to donate is you can donate during the lunches. If you donate $5 or more, you're going to get a raffle ticket. Every time you donate $5, you'll get another raffle ticket. That raffle ticket will enter you into the drawing, and whoever's name gets pulled will be the one that gets to dump the buckets on one of us. Let's get after it, Avondale. We're looking forward to you jumping this challenge with us.
All right, Avondale, the challenge is on.
You're right behind me. Don't you let me go tonight. Don't you let me go tonight. Don't you let me go tonight.